Not quite working the way I'd hoped. Kind of, not really. Are these like trick? Are they fake? There you go, that's kind of weird. Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Hello, everybody. Hello and good evening. I'm gonna wait a little bit for folks to trickle in. Let me actually get the invite sent out to Valley Swerve and Che Knox. Let's try to see Valley Swerve in the chat. How's everybody doing tonight? Drop W's in the chat if you're having a good time. Playing a little bit of Valley Swerve while we wait for Valley Swerve. I sent out an invite to Valley Swerve so far. Yes, I love seeing those W's. Glad everyone's having a good evening, as am I. It's a wonderful day. I have showered, I am clean, I am cleansed, and I'm really excited for these interviews. It's a fun way, I think, to get to know artists on the lineup a little deeper, and also very easy way to promote the festival if you think about it, which is this Saturday. It's coming up. It starts at 7 p.m. but the stream will begin at 6. Our little waiting room lobby area. Excuse the extreme shakiness of my camera. I don't have proper equipment, and so my camera is currently mounted on a mic stand, and we're working with that. Okay, just sent out. Valley Swerve wasn't able to join. Got Che Knox.
Check. Can you guys hear me?
Hey, how you doing? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Che Knox?
Yeah. That's good, man. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Trying to get Carlo in on here, but it said he couldn't join. Let me try again.
Oh, I was the one on the Valley Swerve side like a minute ago. I just switched accounts real quick, so.
Okay, I see that the Valley Swerve account is back in. Would that be Carlo, or would that be?
Might be, yeah.
Okay, let me send another. Invite. DIY or die. Okay. Hey, welcome.
Hey, everybody.
Everybody's
Sorry
in.
about that. Everybody, I hope so.
Yeah, what's up, Wallow? What's up, Shiny Kid? What's up, Andres?
Much love. What's up, dudes?
All the guys, all the people.
Sorry about that. I was kind of shaving because I got self-conscious about my beard, and then I didn't finish it. And
Oh, wait, what?
I did a shitty shave yesterday, and I'm
okay.
like, I'll just do it with a razor, like not a razor, electric razor. But then I was like, nah. But then again, like the pixelation on this is so awful, like you couldn't even tell anyway. So
You look like you have a baby's butt on your face.
oh, perfect. That's
cleanly
exactly
shaved.
what I'm going for.
We got to practice some CGI editing on this movie we did, so maybe next interview he'll be able to kind of live edit his face like that. He won't need to shave
He'll
anymore.
rub himself in.
Yeah, easily.
That sounds awesome. That'd be great. So what do you think? Do you think we should wait a little bit for folks to trickle in, or get started, y'all?
I don't know. I guess what 13. Honestly, this is probably
folks. I'm down to. What's that?
It's probably more than my last live stream, honestly.
Yeah.
That grass fed, it was like 4 people. I'm like, yeah, this is brutal. But
Maybe
it was
they
also
were all
like,
at the show.
it was all like, what's up?
Maybe they were all at the show. That's why they didn't tune into the live stream.
Yeah, they were definitely at the show at like 101 degrees and like 5 p.m. in the afternoon.
I heard it was hot at the pump house, right?
It was ridiculously hot. Sunscreen, a ton of like SPF 5,000, and I'm like, oh, I looked at all the photos I took, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pasty as hell, but it's
Yeah,
cool.
he was dripping more ways than one, I think.
Yeah.
Here's what now?
He was dripping.
Dripping. Oh, yeah. There you go. Not a bad thing to be these days. All right, so I'll just kind of like open it up, you know. Who I could introduce you, or you could introduce yourselves. You know, up to y'all.
Well, I'm Carlo. I'm one half of Valley Swerve. I guess I've been the one. Well, actually, I haven't been the one doing anything. Shay has been doing a lot of the stuff. He's
I'm
like
but a
the founding,
humble assistant.
he's the founding father, and I'm just like the face kind of. But
He's the brains. I'm the hired gun.
no, he's being humble.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Shay Knox. Go by Shay. We formed mid 2017. I just called Eno up one day. I was like, "Yo, let's do this." And so it's always been both of us from the start. Eno has been a little more active and present and visible online, so he's definitely the face of it, and I'm totally fine with that. Actually, I'm very happy. I have a face for radio, so. But yeah.
Long story short, we met in college, and ever since then we've been making music. We did various projects, but this has been our biggest and most long-term endeavor, and I think this has been like the most successful.
Yeah.
Honestly, the most with its own personality, and you know, they're trying to really combine like both our aesthetics, like halfway, like him having a much more Shay having a bigger background in like trap and drill,
Slightly
and,
bigger.
like, yeah, and a much wider range of hip hop than I've done, and I've learned a lot from him. And then just combining like, you know, this more future lo-fi aesthetic with you know, nostalgic visuals, I feel like that's exactly what Valley Swerve is.
Yeah, and that's been definitely the Eno contribution. I mean, he's amazing at hip hop too. Let's not all the biggest hits on our Spotify page are an Eno production. So, but yeah, he definitely bought in the whole vaporwave, future funk, whatever you want to call it, component. And I think when those two things kind of met, that's when we really found our sound, I'd say, in a way. So,
Very cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like, well, first of all, like, are you from the Valley also, Shay?
Oh no, I'm in Austin. From
Okay,
Austin.
right on. Like born and raised kind of thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
No.
The general area, hill country, but yeah.
Right on. That's cool. How did y'all get in touch again?
We've been constantly friends since kind of inseparable since like.
It's gonna be 10 years this month.
Yeah, 10 years since college. Yeah, it's one of my my closest friends ever, like ever.
Yeah, same.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, he put up a flyer one day because we were still playing metal back then, way back.
Yeah.
We're trying to play metal. You know, I graduated from my Line 6 to my Vox back then, so I felt like I was, you know, on top of the world, pretty much. And he put up like a flyer saying, oh, you know, looking for other guitarists, and I think the flyers they stayed up for like 5 minutes, but I happened to just see it soon enough, and I gave him a call, and pretty much that's how we met.
The RAs were like, you can't do this. You didn't have permission, and you didn't file the paperwork. I'm like,
didn't have the license, man.
I didn't know I was supposed to do that.
Didn't have the license.
Firing is so hard sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, this is just school. Like, why there's so much bureaucracy in school? Like, yo, this ain't the real world.
That's you know, that's how they narrow in on like making sure that you only see like their stuff. Like UTRGV is the exact same way. It's impossible to get a flyer up at that place.
Yeah, I believe you guys are. You're the Miraaa Fest is trying to post like all those promo flyers, right? And then we're like, oh, we can't do that because having to ask whoever you're supposed to ask, right? Like the union or like
you have to kind of go through like all these channels, and then that's to get them on the posts. If you find yourself able to like post something on those like bulletin, I mean, it's been a while since I've been there. I graduated in 2012, back when it was still Pan Am, but yeah, they used to be like you couldn't even get it on like one of those bulletin boards unless like folks were just like overlooking it, and it's like, oh,
crazy.
You got to stay up next to like someone's, you know, sociology textbook, you know, ad or whatever. So, you know, well, I kind of real quick, I didn't know that y'all started in metal. I know.
Yes.
Would you prefer I call you Hino actually?
I honestly, I'm very comfortable with Carlo now. Like, before I was like really like cemented in pseudonames, but I feel like as part of like old cosplay identity, which I still have on my Instagram, but I haven't really branded around that at all because I I know this sounds narcissistic, but I'm just like I just want to get like credit for face value who I am, and
Sure.
especially since all we have like a lot more success now, like I'm not ashamed of like who I am, and I don't think Carlo is
Yeah,
that
he's
any
the
more captured
aesthetic
than
one.
Yeah, but I feel like it's an okay name. I guess like I'm comfortable as like first name and such.
Yeah, I'm the one who puts Shay in a shame, so I'm the one who will hide behind the slogan name,
But either or is
the
like
randomly
that's good to me.
generated name.
Is it randomly generated, Shay Knox?
No, no, it's not.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not. I just looked at a bunch of words but also just we were playing the metal back then, but we didn't really start off as a metal band. I mean, we jammed a little bit, but we
Yeah,
kind
What
of
kind of metal was it?
started.
what kind
I
of
think our
metal?
first real collaboration was more like Summit of Vine, like the
Oh,
shoegaze.
that's a project we were in.
Yeah,
I have like I'm like more into like post ambient metal, like drone stuff, and I know Shay's kind of more thrashy and more
yeah.
techy.
I'm the normal normie.
Actually, if you hear any like guitar leads are just like really exaggerated and like overly eccentric, like I mean eccentric in the actual definition. Like it's this guy. He just comes up with some weird like fluid ideas. And I'm like, yeah, that's stuff I can't comprehend.
Except for the one on Te Quiero, which you did on this movie, which
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah.
movie coming up. Be sure to tune in at
yeah.
Miraaa Media Fest on 8/21. Reminder: do not show up to McAllen
Do
Incubator
not show
Center.
up to the incubator.
Worst mistake
This
of my
is
life,
pretty
but
vital. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's we
He's
first
got chops
collaborated.
too, huh?
We first collaborated in a post rock band called Summit Divine, and if you could just Google that, you'll SoundCloud and the Bandcamp EP will easily come out. Um, and that's kind of actually where we both learned a lot about recording like techniques on our own YouTube because we both I've been using Ableton Live my entire music career. Like I've never used any other DAW. Live 9 was where we started together, and for the last decade, we've just been focusing on on all these techniques that we could pull off from this one software, and we still continue to do that. So honestly, if it wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be, or we both wouldn't be like as like in tuned about recording technicality and such. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
take a
for
lot of
real. Big
pride.
shout out to Ableton for all their software. It's definitely been along with us along this whole ride with us throughout all the years. So
The probability of them watching this is probably slim, but if they
I'll
do,
never stop shouting them out. One day maybe it'll work.
I'm sure
maybe
they're
one day
listening.
will be
Their name has
the
been
day of
spoken. Their antennae are
Has
pointed at.
been invoked.
yeah
Um,
manifesting
Hopefully, Ableton's
endorsement.
son will notice me one day, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you'll be we'll make you a keynote speaker or something."
uh, I was gonna say Ableton's kind of like on top of the world right now, right? Like with everyone kind of getting into producing and making their own music and stuff. Like
I
it's big.
still feel like for me it's my favorite, but I feel like inaccessibility comes down to the price because it's $600.
Oh,
FL for sure has I still think the better compromise for like what it can do, but
Yeah,
everyone
FL
it's
is
always a war.
cheaper,
Yeah, it's always a
and
war of like what's
it's
the
also
best DAW.
32-bit compatible, which Ableton is not. I'd say that's a big reason why there's just so many more stuff you can do on FL because you can use both 32-bit and 64-bit. But
FL is
there's
used to be called
FL
Fruity Loops, right?
Fruity Loops, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Fruity Loops,
Now
Fruity Loops.
it's like FL 20,000 something, but
But it's so weird you brought that up. Well, not weird, but I was thinking like how we think about DAWs, like, oh, is Ableton FL, but like now it's like there's this huge hardware renaissance or not revival, I guess. Like everyone wants to do SPF 44s and all this like roll-in Yamaha hardware, and it's like, oh no, the synth heads have returned from like 3 decades of the spotlight. And I mean, you're personally a big fan, right, on the rest of like all these synth stuff, hardware stuff,
I'm
right?
sorry.
You're a big fan of like hardware, like synthware. Uh,
Fan, yes. Do I afford it
yeah,
or can I afford it? Probably not. No.
yeah.
Uh,
No,
but
neither can us.
absolutely.
That's why we use computers because it is a poor man's game out here.
For sure.
But
Yeah, I mean most of my gear is like pawn shop stuff, like things that I found at a
oh,
pawn
for
shop.
sure, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I actually that's one thing I do miss about Austin. Like, there's a lot more music in like music gear at pawns, and as far as like here, it's just mostly cheap stereos and.
Depends on where you look. There's like
Yeah,
there's a few
I guess
spots
so.
that like pre-pandemic, mind you, but were like awesome, incredible selection. Just I don't know where the hell this is coming from, but I actually have a really interesting point on that. Not to hold on it too long, but
No problem.
once things kind of started chilling out, I started venturing out again. Going to pawn shops is like one of those things that I would usually do, just like chill out. Like that's like a Saturday for me. Like I'll just go to pawn shops and just window shop or whatever. And so I did that one day, and I didn't see anything. Like I couldn't find any instruments, but there was also just like not a whole lot of stuff in general. And I was really like surprised by that. I was like, are people not just like selling their stuff? And then, you know, I asked one of the employees, and they said that I guess because of the stimulus checks that have been going out, people were making their payments, and like they weren't losing their stuff. So like they were pawning still, but like they were being able to like pay it off or whatever.
That's why I forget people pawn things at pawn shops. I'm like, oh, they don't just sell it; they just like pawn it.
Yeah, it's like for a loan or whatever. And so when it's on the floor, if they didn't sell it, more than likely they lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
No, I like that point because I feel like that was the same thing where I walk into a pawn shop, and that could be another reason why everything's empty because people don't have the need to pawn, as you were mentioning. Like or if they did pawn or they did sell stuff to the shop, it was like at the beginning of the pandemic where, you know, God forbid, people lost a lot of jobs and, you know, their employment status. But that's, I guess, in a good about, you know, yay, everyone's having a financial comeback rate, but also like lack of inventory to buy. But, you know, reverb, that's why I'm overpaying. I paid, what, $200 for this stupid teak that I have, the tape player that I showed off, if you remember. And I'm like, no, that is... and it plays too fast, and one of the RCA outputs gave out. I'm like, this was not worth the $250 I spent, but alas, it is nice furniture. So,
I think you weren't able to get it fixed, right?
I haven't ventured out to. If anyone in this chat happens to fix record or stereo players, please let me know because this belt spins too fast. I don't know how to do it. I'm scared to open it up. I'm not very much of a tinkerer, But yeah, I mean, I know in Austin there's quite a bit of places that actually End of Veneer Records is a famous record store that they also repair turntables and they also repair cassette drivers. So that would be a place I would hit up if it was close, but alas. So maybe next time I could just leave it there for like a whole month.
I can't even walk into their back room without like starting to feel like my wallet shrinking in fear.
Oh, for sure. But they used to be a lot pushier too. They'd be like, sure, you don't want to buy this $3,000 player. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm fine. But
yeah,
but still the best record shop, in my opinion, out there.
It's one of the
Mr.
best.
E's,
I really like
Mr.
Breakaway
E's,
now.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, Mr. E is also pretty great. Output Audio, I haven't heard of that one, but
chat. Hey, Marty. Yeah, Output Audio followed me the other day. I didn't know that they were in San Antonio. I was wondering where they were from. I know they're like a Texas shop. Mr. E's. I haven't heard of that one. Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, Mr. E's is pretty great. I like Mr.
Where
E's.
is it?
Where is it? I thought it was in San Antonio.
Sorry, what is it? I don't know what it is.
It's like they sell like besides like records, they also sell like repurposed stereos.
Very cool.
And rad dudes. Yeah, they're pretty rad. But yeah, Output Audio, gotta check that one out. Sorry, any more questions?
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So you had mentioned earlier that, you know, the aesthetics going into Valley Swerve, there's a lot of like vintage elements to them. Can you talk about that?
I feel like I've been talking a lot. Shake, cover this one.
Oh man, good question. A lot of, because I hate to be that guy, but not gonna lie, when it comes to the visual aesthetics, Eno is definitely the mastermind. I'm still learning the basics of like Photoshop and Premiere and, you know, how to put together a decent looking artwork. But me, all I know is I like usually blue, whatever color scheme you guys got going for Miraaa. I kind of like that stuff, so that's what I throw on my type of artwork. But for example, like the font was an Eno creation, or the logo, should I say?
Yeah.
Like both font and the palm tree thing. I usually just follow his lead on that. I guess in general it would be defined as like a vaporwave, future funky aesthetic. That's usually how I see it online. So I don't know. I just try to recreate that at a basic level whenever I do it.
Totally.
Yeah,
I
I feel.
wonder
Yeah.
if it, how much. I'm sorry. Go for it.
Oh no, sorry. Go on.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
good.
I wonder how much the aesthetic is also connected to the influence of anime on the music, because it seems like anime is kind of a core component of Valley Swerve, right? I
Oh,
noticed I
for
got
sure.
all my
Yeah.
anime stuff
Yeah, I
with
saw.
me
I saw. I
today.
was like, yo, this setup is
To
better than mine.
this is I pulled everything out of my
Yeah, and I
shelf, like
appreciate
all
you
my
wearing the
anime stuff.
shirt. I was like, oh yeah, you're
Oh
wearing
yeah,
the Vichon shirt. Yeah. So kind of tying that back. Uh, kind of like the same the thesis behind like the film we submitted, Otako, which I hope you saw. You did see, right? You check it
yeah, it's fantastic.
out. The exclusive cut. So that thesis to me, I feel is kind of the same with our image, like the obsession. No, I wouldn't say obsession, but like the infatuation with like this region, right? Valley Swerve being the valley has an RGV and a tropical but mixed cultural climate of mostly like Mexican Hispanic, but also what's very prevalent in this sphere is like our interest in like Japanese media. A lot of video game anime fanatics here, and I feel like anywhere I've been, really, I guess even compared to like Austin or like the small time I was in New York, I feel like people here appreciate anime and like those like JRPG, J video game aesthetics a lot more. Like people get really into the lore, they get into like the origin studios, developers, and like all these popular names that come out of the industry. And I feel like we appreciate anime a lot more than most people I've met outside regionally, and trying to combine like my interest in anime and like nostalgic Japanese media like city pop and like those more vintage uh, aesthetic like neon Tokyo throwback, and relating that with, of course, like in our logo, right, the palm trees. Like what are we known for? Palm trees everywhere, very beachy vibe, but instead of like the Cali beach vibe, we have our own beach aesthetic, which I still feel is really underappreciated, like on a big scale, except for spring break because it gets trashed, unfortunately.
For
But
sure.
like,
Yeah, that's all
if
very
yeah,
true. That's all. Whatever Eno is saying, I can vouch for that.
yeah, if you could
The
picture like
average,
a Venn diagram, it would probably be better as a visual, which I don't have. But yeah,
boom, there you go. Next artwork. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah.
But no, I would say
Make it
though that
move.
yeah, the average like knowledge level of, let's say, Japanese culture, anime, manga, whatever, is definitely higher in the Valley from what I've seen than Austin, Houston, Dallas, most other places that I've seen and been to. So obviously that's gonna. I'll admit myself, I'm not the biggest anime connoisseur. Like, again, I just have passing knowledge. I can appreciate it for sure. I like all the artwork that has been doing whenever it comes to that. So specifically, I would say that to kind of to go back a little more on the whole future funk aesthetic, maybe not specifically anime, but one thing I've noticed a lot with that type of artwork is, let's say, usually kind of a washy vibe, quote unquote, a blurred. There's rarely very definite lines and hard lines. It's all very blurry, and the way we try to do that in our music is hopefully, well, for example, adding a lot of reverb, delay, a bunch of effects to kind of recreate the sonically what this kind of visual effect is. So that's how we try to tie it to some extent.
Most definitely.
Whether or not we're successful, that's an entirely other question. But we do try
I
to tie it all back together somehow.
yeah.
Hopefully, one day it will work.
I was gonna say, in terms of success, I got feelings about Spotify and streaming services in general, but y'all do really well on there. It seems your
Oh
numbers are
yes.
pretty high.
Uh,
For folks who really look into those numbers, let me just pull them up for a second. You have a song that has like 6.5 million streams.
yeah.
Uh,
It's not a big deal, honestly.
well, how does that happen though? Is that I
Well,
don't know. I don't know who Rascal is. I don't know what date they're going on, and I don't know what the deal is with the track. People seem to
so
really, really like that song.
so there's
So
a lot of reason, like explanation for all that. It's not speculative. So first and foremost, it is um I'm gonna go on record and say it's inspired by a very famous anime franchise, and said anime franchise is rather clickbaitable. So, you know, you combine that with the mass TikTok youths and anime fanaticism in the world, and that kind of explains why that number is so high. So,
Gotcha.
so it's not original. I guess you can. It's not original concept, but that track.
It's just
Is
a
very much
perfect
just
storm,
reflective.
you know, like at the right
Yeah.
place at the right time. You know, we got
Right.
very lucky to kind of blow up on that one. Obviously, big shout out to everyone who helped us achieve those numbers and keep helping us achieve those. So, yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I remember reading that. I guess some of the earlier work that y'all did. I don't think all of it now revolves around that, but revolves around remixing theme songs, right?
Yeah, yeah, like our own twists on them. Our
Right.
ravey twist, our lo-fi hip-hop twist, chill hop twist, our house twist, our disco twist. So whatever the song calls for, you know. I feel like oh, sorry. I guess that was it. That was my only input on that. It was just like, you know, wherever that song decides to take me, you know, something that's popular. But I like most. I mean, like most. What am I saying? I like all the stuff that I released, because if I wouldn't release it. But you know, people would be like, oh, I've gotten some flack for being like, they're just remixes. You're stealing stuff. I'm like, or they're just whatever. You know, I'm like, but it's just a reflection of what the whole idea of Valley Swerve is. You know, just being like happy with like all these like franchises, like being an anime fan, you know. It's what fandom culture does, and
Definitely.
I feel like it's just an artistic reflection of it. I mean, people draw fan art, people cosplay, you know, people vlog about anime, people do all this stuff. Like what is different from what I'm doing? It's just this avenue, which is, you know, maybe niche perhaps, but I mean that's how I express it.
We definitely cover a lot of other like styles and approaches. We have a lot of original content that we put out, you know, big let me do a quick plug here if you don't mind, but we have an original song coming up in the movie for Miraaa Fest, Lady Moon with Italia 182, 2K Swerve tape with Wallow 2K coming soon, a single too with I believe a Chicago-based artist called Haven. That one's pure OC as well. So we definitely do not limit ourselves to just remixes or whatever.
For sure, but
To
that's
be
like,
clear.
I think, you know, I feel like for folks who kind of know, you know, electronic music or are into even things like anime, can kind of wrap their heads around what I think constitutes as just like recontextualization. That's kind of what remixes is, right? Like you're putting a new spin on
Exactly.
Yeah,
Let
exactly.
me put it this way. Pretty much, a remix is to a modern kind of producer online group such as us what a cover was to an up and coming band back in the 70s. Like back in the 70s, bands, before they got to the point where labels would trust them with putting out their own stuff, they would usually be asked to do a cover to see what they sound like. So it's just for me, it's like the same thing, just in updated, you know, 2021 terms or whatever. So it's really it's nothing new, I would say.
Right on. What was I going to say? The value, I think, of like understanding what that process is, like your own relationship, like your remixes are like your interpretations and your appreciation for this thing. You know, you're not saying that it's an original idea. You're showing like your love for it or whatever, right?
Sure.
I think that also
Exactly.
like connects to, you know, the concept for your film, like otaku, like you said, like you're blending in the culture of the valley, the sort of like point of origin for you, Carlo, in particular, and
Oh, definitely.
also just like the sort of prevalence of anime kids that are also Latinos or Latinx. You know, there's a lot of them, even if it's just as going as far as like Dragon Ball Z or GT in this case. You know, there's like. It's a garbage show, but I bought it because
I was gonna say the forbidden DBZ model.
you know, like there's origin points in that I think go really really deep, like generations upon generations of folks who can appreciate anime, despite, you know, language barriers, despite cultural barriers, like, and it ends up like influencing their own thing. It's just like this sort of like next stage in development of like these ideas, which I think is super cool.
Definitely.
and it, all these like sort of like purist sort of like concepts, like, oh, that's not your song, or that's not, Latinos don't watch anime, or I don't know, something like that. Like only watch stuff that I don't know. It feels very close-minded to me, which I think is what makes a lot of what y'all do special, and also like the film in particular. If you want to start talking about that one, because I got questions.
Oh, sure. Well, I think the questions would be funner than just go into it.
What's that?
I think the questions would be funner than me just like going in pretentiously into it.
Okay. So for the folks viewing, part of the putting together the lineup for the festival involved the curational aspect on my end, pairing artists together who I thought had sort of like creative harmony to them. And in Valley Swerve's case, I thought that they would work really well with Italia from Brownsville. Shout out to Italia. I don't know if she's in the chat.
Shout out to Italia 22.
Yeah, big shout out to Wildlife.
What's that?
Wildlife.
Wildlife streaming now. Or what is it, the
Hawaii
remix
Summertime.
now or something? Yeah.
Kawaii Live remix, both of them. Stream both of them. So, can you just talk about like working with Italia? What was it like to? Because I don't think y'all have worked together before, right?
No, we haven't actually. You brought us together actually because I've always wanted to have Italia on a track, on a Valley Swerve track, and I guess the reason why it hadn't happened was mostly on my part for lack of reaching out, or I feel like I caught up, or we both got caught up with other artists because this year has been really for us. Has been very big with collabs, like as we mentioned, Wallow 2K, who's in this chat, the 2K Swerve tape coming out, Haven, I don't believe she's in the chat, but you are, shout outs. But
I think she goes by Innocent Soul Freak on Instagram, so be sure to follow her.
Absolutely. But when she actually was really determined to submit the film and like get it done, and I personally got sidetracked with grass fed, and like, oh man, am I gonna be able to pull this off? Because it wasn't until like last couple of weeks that I had talked about with Italia about like the idea, and I'm like, okay, it was really spontaneous, and I was like, it was kind of like, is this a joke? Hopefully, people don't think this is a joke, because this is like sincere. Like the whole idea, as you mentioned, like being this shut-in NEET. NEET is an acronym for not in education, employment, or training. So like, someone who's stereotypically like, oh, I don't want to associate with people. I don't want to go outside. I'm scared of society. I'm really obsessed with what I'm like YouTube VTubers or gamers, I guess. I hate to say the G word, but yeah, she really loved it, and she personifies what people are obsessed with, and it didn't hit me until like, oh yeah, this is like the idea for the film, because I think Italia is like a master of this aesthetic, of this approach. She has the personality, and I never would have.
Yeah, she embodies it real well.
Yeah, I would never have thought of that idea if it wasn't for you putting us together, collaborating in this project, in this festival. So that was kind of like how it all just spiraled from the project, and just relaying. Oh, I guess, yeah, upward, but of working together and reaching out, and she was amazing to work with. We had like I guess I was worried about like, if getting feedback on the track that we did wasn't like high quality enough, or was rushed, or just like those like the little voice in your head saying it's not good enough. But no, she loved it. She delivered it like instantaneously, and just the ability to relay back and forth was like, communication was great. And I thought it would be a barrier just because we were so far apart. Like, I'm over here in Mission and Brownsville, and then Shay being in Austin, and I'm like, oh no, how are we gonna do this? This is really, really weird triangle going on. But truly, as the internet ages, distance is no problem, because over a screen we're all very connected.
Yeah,
hopefully
we got real lucky, because I mean, I was blown away personally by her take. We sent her the instrumental. She sent back her full vocals a couple days after. Took minimal like editing, processing, and all that.
Let's start real quick for context.
It sounded.
For context, this is the ending song that's part of the film. As I mentioned, there's two songs that are in the feature. Which
Lady Moon.
I don't think the chat. Yeah, Lady Moon. coming up. Sorry we didn't mention that in the chat for context, but sorry, Shay.
No, you're good. I mean, I was just gonna say I was pretty blown away by her performance. It all went really, really quick, seamless, or no friction on our end. You know, we sent her the song, she sent back her take. Really didn't take a whole lot of editing, mixing, whatever to make it sound good because it already sounded good. And from there, we just it was plug and play pretty much. Just drop it into the song, and it fit really well. I thought it was really catchy, and is really catchy. I'm very excited to release it both as part of the movie or film, but also as part of standalone single and all that. So yeah,
most definitely. I think it's like pretty incredible that y'all also produced like entirely new music for
Oh, yeah.
the film.
Even the score
That's
was
like
original,
well
to be
above
honest.
the Call of Duty. What's that?
Oh, even the score was original. We didn't sample anything. We actually made the score too, like the drone in the back and like some of the transition sounds. That was
Yeah.
all
So
synthetic.
like,
Yeah.
without getting super, spoiler or whatever, we don't want to ruin it for folks so that way they can go to the fest and see it. But like, y'all really put a lot of work into this film.
Yeah, it was nuts. To not
Can you
sleep
talk a
5
little bit
hours
about
every night.
like, did you both know like, sorry, but all three of you, did you know that the concept would be as like involved and as kind of like it feels like a kind of full sort of story like for the time of the film, like it feels like there's I don't know, like there's how do I describe it?
There's a narrative.
There's a narrative. Thank you.
I was thinking, because I was like, that's how it.
yeah, it does feel unified. I'll admit that.
Yeah. It.
Yeah. So like it was that in your heads already from the beginning?
Yeah, good question.
Mm-hmm. You kind of cut out a little bit. Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I'm gonna text him to let him know.
We got a little bit of technical difficulties, but I agree with Carl. We got a little bit of cut out from what you were saying, Carlo, but to kind of respond a little bit, the continuity as you described in the film definitely shows, definitely makes it. Did we lose him, Shay? What do you think?
Yeah, I think I just texted him to let him know I'm waiting on an answer, but
No worries.
in hopes
yeah,
of adding to his answer, yeah, I mean, I know from my end that we were calling multiple times a day for the entire duration of this project, just constantly brainstorming, making sure every bit fit one after another in hopes of having the final product also make sense like that.
mm-hmm.
We split, yeah, a lot of communication. We definitely split up work that way. We didn't have people working on the same thing at the same time to not have redundant work like that.
Most definitely.
So
Like
yeah, pretty much.
you know, again, without giving too much away, like
Yeah.
it feels really, it reminds me a lot of an anime, like in the best way possible. I haven't been. Oh wait, we got Valley Sword back in the chat. Let me see
Oh,
if
he's
we can.
coming back in.
Um,
Check,
ooh,
check.
let's see what happens. It feels so much like
Sorry
an.
about that.
Okay.
I guess my phone overheated, and it
Oh
was
shoot,
like,
no
oh, we're
worries.
just gonna crap out and just end the transit. Maybe all these lamps on my phone were too hot because like this bad boy burning up. So
It
And then
happens.
stop
like,
mining crypto on your phone, man.
yeah, gonna have to like hold this on my hand, and I don't know. I guess I had to all my computer shit's just like really hot. So
It
no,
happens. I
not
can't
very good
FaceTime
ventilation
people
here,
if I'm in the
unfortunately.
sun with my phone. It'll just like
Yeah.
it'll turn into a block of fire. It's the worst.
Yeah, and usually I'll just black out completely, but I was able to, hopefully, what I missed. Oh no, 5 people left. No, they're
It's
like,
all
it's
good. I
over.
mean, this is gonna be up. It's gonna stay up, so people will still be able to watch it after the fact. You know, some folks aren't
All right.
available at 7 p.m.
Yeah. I don't know how much of what my last thing was said, but you know, I guess whatever the topic is right now.
So to respond to what you were saying about how, like, you were concerned about the cut, the Baka cut, as you called
Yes,
it, for
the
the
Balkan
festival, whether it would translate, like, the narrative in there, and it totally does, in my opinion. Like, it's engaging. There's a lot to it, and as I was telling Shay as you were coming back into the chat, it feels like a fucking anime. It feels, excuse my
Oh
language, it feels
boy,
like
that's
an anime.
great. That's great to
Like,
hear.
especially once we get to the musical numbers, both yours and Italia's. Like, it feels like because, okay, just something that y'all would probably be able to agree with. The credit scenes, both intro and end credits for anime for shows, are kind of like their own works of art on their own.
Yes,
You know what I
yes,
mean?
that
Like
was
there's a lot
exactly
of
the
work
idea. That was
put
exactly
into
the idea.
those. Okay,
hmm
really? All right.
With the Italia, with the Italians, with the Lady Moon, yes. The way the credits roll on the
Yeah,
side,
there's just so much to it
exactly.
that feels, dude. I got very nostalgic, and that's because I mean, anime isn't an old thing. It's very much a alive and well thing. I mean, Megan Thee Stallion is a huge anime fan. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like anime is on top of the world. But like it reminds me of like being a kid and like not anime not
Uncle
being on
Mo,
top
real
of the
quick,
world.
thank you, Uncle Mo, for showing up. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining in. He's one of my what's up, Obi? Yeah, he's one of our biggest fans, and without him, stream him on Bandcamp at Flaming Mo on SoundCloud. So
Very
peace
cool.
Yeah,
out. Have a
big
Uncle Mo,
great
shout
thank
night.
out
you
to
for joining
Uncle
the
Mo.
chat.
Sorry, Andres, as you were saying.
It's all good. I
Yeah,
was just
anime is
ranting and
it's
raving about how what I thought y'all attempted to do, I think you really did, and it's very fun, super fun to watch, and the music is also fantastic. So I hope everybody watching will check it out at the festival
definitely.
because
Well,
it's seriously
yeah.
like it's very fun. Like you said,
That means a
producer,
lot,
how long?
honestly, because if you said we nailed it, like you saw what we're going for and we nailed it. I mean, I was so self-conscious about that in like the 10-minute cut, so I'm very, very thankful that you said all that. So it made my whole night, week even.
Same month, year, all that. Thanks again.
I'm glad. No, of
Yeah,
course.
thanks for working with us, by the way, on like the whole process from start to finish. That definitely helped us get us the best submission in, so obviously we're very thankful for that.
Well, clearly not. There's a whole other like 20, 30 minutes that's left to this film that didn't get to make the cut. I don't know if we're getting the best version. It sounds like.
Well, most of it was just like for right now, the senpai cut, what I call it right now, maybe it'll be a different name, but that it's just to help. The transitions were sped up a lot. Like if you from the sneak peek I sent you, you can tell that the film is sped up. We sped it up in Premiere. Yes, we use Premiere to edit, by the way. So sorry for I know a lot of people hate Adobe, but I guess we're Adobe.
Yeah,
folks.
sorry guys, it's not hand drawn. We
This is an
messed
Adobe
up,
house.
man.
It's all good.
Adobe House. Sorry, I don't have Final Cut. I don't have Mac. But no, I did a lot of I was like, oh man, I never tape sped. Is that gonna mess up the audio or whatever? But yeah, so a lot of transitions were cut off. Sequences that transition between Act 1 and 2 were straight up deleted. There's a whole scene of me shaving. If y'all want to see me shave for ASMR, I'll put that in the final cut, sure. But then some other skit ideas, like the original ending. It's not a spoiler because I doubt we're ever gonna film this. But the original ending for this was gonna be like us like going to like some narrative like a nihilistic existential like monologue and just like with a black screen and voiceover, and then it will just pop up like us like all like Naruto running with headbands like down 17th Street. That was gonna be the original ending, and I asked like, does anyone have like a Leaf Village headband? And like none of my friends had one, and I'm like, how the fuck did no one? Sorry if I can't cuss this, but how the hell did no one have a Naruto headband? I'm like, I don't know, man. It was cringe. Like after everyone bought it from Hot Topic or like AliExpress, I didn't want one. I'm like, come on, man. Like no one had it. Like I had cringy. We're all cringe. We're all in middle school watching Naruto. No one had a Naruto headband. We cannot film the sequence. Like I'm not gonna go to Hot Topic and buy one. They're like $25 like for a licensed one. And I'm like, it's just not worth it just for one scene. So thanks everyone for not having that so-called executive producers on my team. But
Someone's been robbed of
yeah,
true,
it would have been an amazing sequence. But whatever. So there's other scenes that I
think the way it ends is fairly appropriate. I think y'all, I think it's fantastic.
Definitely. Okay,
and you should be very proud of what you've created.
I really want to do with one additional scene, but yeah, definitely for the final cut.
Well, but, I hope we get to see it. I hope it sees the light of day. This extended senpai cut.
One day. I can't say when.
Right on.
But sorry. Any other questions you had? We had a question from Wallow actually. We had a fan submission question. From Wallow 2K.
What was the
he
question?
said, how do you describe your fans? And I'm like, how would you describe our fans, Shay?
Oh damn. Very passionate, obviously, very supportive. We have usually a lot of the kind of a core group that comments, likes, repost or whatever, retweet, whatever. They're always the first to pull up in the Spotify to drive the numbers up. So obviously, I mean, good of course, among many other great things as well.
So like, if I answer that question literally, like it'd be like, okay, so our demographic according to Apple and Spotify, like 49% of our listeners are male, and the other like 43 is female, and then it's like itemized by like 4% non-binary, and then like 1% non-specified. So I was like, okay, that's a pretty decent demographic range, I guess. I didn't know we had like so many non-binary appeals, so shout out to all my envies. We are all gender-friendly music. But and then if you go by TikTok, it's a lot of mix between like cosplayers and like video game streamers. So I guess that's the pretty much accurately sums it up. The chill hop 24/7 lo-fi beat study crowd.
For sure.
Yeah.
They're literally me.
They're literally me. Yeah. Just myself.
We got a question that was sent in earlier. This question is for both of y'all, and it came in from Trucha, actually. Trucha RGV asked this question. What does the Valley swerve to, exactly?
What does the what, sorry?
What does the Valley, the place, swerve to?
Man, big thing. Let me think here.
We got another 12 minutes, so.
I mean, oh man, well, multiple different genres as we kind of talked about previously, like whether it be a sound or visual aesthetics.
I think
among many other things, of course.
Valley swerves to humanity.
Humanity.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That feels very Gendo Ikari of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's some end of Valley Swerve. You cannot exist.
I just watched
Valley.
all the rebuilds the other day.
Oh no! Yeah, I haven't seen Thrice Upon a Time. I have Prime though. I need to. I barely saw 3.0 for the first time. Is he gonna plug in the website? For the 5th time, visit www.valleyswerve.com/press. There you go. And I definitely need to put this on our press website. So or actually listen.valleyswerve.com. Everyone wants to get on the website. Y'all want to stream us like on any platform. You don't want to give Spotify money? Go to Bandcamp. You don't want to give us money in Bandcamp? I don't know, torrent us on some weird torrent site that I don't know exists. Funny story, I did leak the Blue Light Special on 4chan on the V board, not the V board, sorry, the MU board, and I uploaded it on Mediafire. So if y'all find any Mediafire of Valley Swerve, they're authorized. You guys can just torrent them. I don't care. I did it myself. I pulled who leaked their own album? Death Grips, I guess, technically. A lot of people have. Kanye's done it, except for Metallica. Those people hate torrents. They hate Napster. I'm like, okay, all right. You could beat the Napster if you want. I mean, you guys are like multi-millionaires.
We can talk out of this chat entirely.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Megadeth come play the Valley so that they can love McAllen.
Oh yeah, Megadeth. It's like I'll play for him, but not you, McAllen, Texas. You guys suck. Damn.
I think Patrick posted like another interview of his where he was like, "Nah, it's just like I don't hate them anymore, but we probably won't play there anytime soon," or something like that. Which is like, whatever.
Sad story.
I feel bad. But yeah, let me get some plugs in too for the festival while we're here. I feel like this is kind of winding down a little bit. Visit http://www.Miraaa with 3 E's, MiraamediaFest.net to RSVP for the festival. Everyone who RSVPs will get notified of when to go pick up a swag bag. And I mean, it's open to anybody to come and pick up the swag bags, but the benefit of RSVPing is that we'll contact you and ask for your t-shirt size, because the swag bags that we're giving out will come with t-shirts while supplies last. So yeah, please RSVP. Visit us on Instagram. You're here, you're already doing that. So
man, you can't go wrong with a free shirt just for RSVP.
Yeah, for sure.
This is the most giving fest I've ever heard of.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Who could say no to a free shirt in your own size? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to do good stuff. We're trying to do a good thing.
Definitely can't get those prices in Austin. Where you park and then you wind up with like a $20 parking ticket just because you parked in yellow by accident. Yep.
Yeah, Austin shows cost a lot of money just to kind of exist at. So yeah, but I hope everybody is excited for the festival. I'm personally excited for it. Are y'all excited for it? Shay, Carlo, are you hyped for it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, super hyped.
Super, extremely. We're all gonna have a private watch party among our friends. So
the Valley Swerve compound or what?
It's the Valley Swerve compound. Yeah. I think is just real quick because I know you're more up to date with them, but is Tropicasta still hosting the after party?
No, everything will be virtual now. Tropicasa is not hosting any in-person events for us. However, they have contributed a award to our award ceremony, or rather a raffle prize, which I can explain while we're on the chat. Yeah, so like at the end of the festival, like most film festivals, we're gonna have a awards ceremony, and the winners will be chosen by the viewers, people who are watching and get to vote throughout the festival. And at the end, we'll kind of remind everybody like, hey, drop in your vote. It's a little Google form we made. And yeah, we'll have a winner for the audience's favorite short, their favorite collab, which could end up being y'all's or anyone else's. I'm trying to pick favorites here.
For sure.
Bumper as well. And we also have a prize for the Breakthrough Non-Binary Femme Award, which is fantastic. And then on top of that, if you vote, you're entered automatically into a raffle to win one of two prizes. The first one is a $50 gift card to Tropicasa to get some stuff over there, or a $50 gift card or credit, I forget, to Bandera Coffee in Harlingen. Both excellent folks who have been very supportive of the festival. And so yeah, you won't be leaving empty-handed, even if you attend the festival virtually, which is pretty cool in my opinion.
And as the just a reminder, MediaFest will be streaming on Instagram as well as Twitch TV and YouTube.
It won't be streaming on Instagram. We will be streaming, I believe, via the Facebook page, on YouTube, Twitch, and that's the 3 we've worked out so far.
So we want to blow up like our film on a 4K projector with all the homies. We'll be able to blow it up with all the homies on
you
Twitch.
Absolutely can. It'll be streaming in HD, I believe, not 4K, but
oh yeah,
blow it up as much as you want.
6K native. 60 FPS. I'm just kidding.
With your frame blended television.
Ooh, yeah, the motion blur.
But yeah, no, it should be pretty fun. I'm really excited for it. Again, we're gonna kind of open things up around 6 o'clock, and then the stream will get started at 7 p.m. And then as soon as the stream comes to a close, we're gonna have our after party, which is gonna be hosted virtually. We're working on creating an actual sort of like web space that people can inhabit. If you have your webcam on, you can actually like chill with folks in different areas of the space.
Oh man, I would love it. Like if we somehow we can do like a succession of this, and it's like all VR. Everyone has to like sign in with VR, like very Ready Player One or like SAO or something, or the
Miraaa 2.0. You
Yeah.
can watch films.
You can watch films.
You guys should do that next year.
Oh my God, too many Evangelion jokes. All right, I think it's time to bring this interview to a close before I start going full Gendo.
Oh no.
Valley Swerve, Carlo. Okay. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, Andres. Thank you, Meta Fest and Truca RGV, and who are other sponsors? Natalie Art.
Natalia Rocafuerte.
Natalia Rocafuerte.
Yes,
CVS.
Sorry,
And
I completely butchered her name, but thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you for all, and thank you, Crooks, for joining the chat. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Have a good night.
Valley Swerve, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. See y'all tomorrow.
For sure. Tomorrow it is.
All right. Bye. Thank you.